Okay, what's up everyone? Morning Crossfit here from the Performance Lab in California, and I'm going to give you a cool little presentation for you today. I'm going to try to make this as simple as I can, okay? At the end of the day, what we're able to do is we have a formula to make it so we're going to be able to shed 0.2 seconds off your 40. I want to make it as simple as possible. Broke it down into different height categories. You're going to go down from here, you can go up from here. The weight is going to be more of like an athletic type of build. So these numbers that I base it off of, it's based off of either receivers, running backs, or defensive backs, but we can still do linemen as well. I mean, linemen don't put as big a focus on the 40, but if we want to be able to do that, then we can. Same thing with like a linebacker type. We would be able to easily break that down and understand the fundamentals here. But at the end of the day, this is where we need to be, and really just ends up becoming a timing matter, right? And so what I mean by that is that if you are 6'5", you want to be at 6 steps at 10 yards, and you want to be at about 1.58 seconds, 1.6, somewhere in there. And what we've done is we just simplified every segment of the race to know exactly where you need to be from a step perspective, right? So if you're at 1.7 seconds, let's say, now we can say, okay, this is something we can work on, these first 6 steps. So now we can look at the average of like, this is for Calvin Johnson, and we can see what his transition time is, the time spent off the ground, which we've done a lot of videos on that, and his contact time is on each one of his steps. Based off of that, now we can say, okay, your 4th and 5th step, you spend too much time on the ground, so we need to be able to maximize that time. Or same type of thing with transition. We can do that for each one of these. And it's the same process as we go from 10 to 20. And really what I've been able to find here is that the big difference, it seems like, is going to be from this 10-yard to this 20-yard increment. And being able to, because we can get guys to get a really good acceleration and get to 1.6 seconds in the first 10, but then being able to continue to accelerate and get to 2.7 for 20 is a difficult task. We get a lot of guys that are at that 2.9, 2.88 type of standpoint. So now it ends up going to the same thing. Contact time, transition time, how many steps, right? And that's what it ends up being the most important part, right? What is your contact time? What is your transition time? Sorry, how many steps did you take? Because if you're 6 foot and you're at 12.5 here instead of 11.8, now what that does is on average, we went and calculated this out, you're going to take about 0.2 seconds per step. 0.2 seconds per step. So now, if you're a half step too long or a little bit longer than a half step, then you're an extra 1/10 right there. Okay, so we can take you from a 2.9 or a 2.8 down to a 2.7 by just making sure your steps are correct. Okay, and that ends up going to, again, then from there we need to take that into the transition time, the contact time. Are you too fast in your transitions? Are you too long in your contact? Are you too short in your contact? What's going on, right? Once we can understand what needs to be the focus, now we can get very, very specific. And this is how we end up shedding the seconds off in really a fast amount of time. There's one kid that we took 1.15 seconds off in 4 days. Okay, and just by being able to maximize all the parts of this. And by the way, that was just in the first 20. You're able to take 0.15 seconds off. So if you can really understand where your step count should be, what the timing should be within it, now we have a formula to make it so we know we're going to be able to shed 2/10 off of your 40. This is something that I can 100% say we can do this in a month. Okay, we can shed 0.2 seconds off your 2/10 off your 40 in a month, because we're going to go and we're going to analyze exactly where you're at. Because again, a lot of you guys are taking, 5'9" too, because obviously there's a lot of football players that are in that 5'9", 5'10", 5'11" category, even at 6 foot. A lot of you guys are taking, like for this, instead of taking 20 steps, you're taking, or 20 and a half steps, you're taking 22 steps. So just right there, you're adding 3/10. Okay, so now we're going to break that down and get that to that 20 and a half steps, and then we should be able to get you 3/10 off your 40. At least 3/10, right? There might be, you might be having too long of a transition time, which makes it so, you're taking 22 steps and you're 4/10 over. right? Because your transition times are all good. This is optimal. This is being able to run 4.47. You're taking 2.5 yards per step. Once you get past 20 yards, you're taking 8 steps. It's taking you 0.2 seconds per step. You might be at a place where your contact time's too long or your transition time's too long. You're not taking up very many steps. So now these numbers get altered. So now you're taking up much more time. So if you're not at 0.2, you're at 0.33 or something along those lines. So then we want to be able to address that, work on that, make it so now instead of you being at, get you to that 0.2 point where you're taking up the right amount of yards and the right amount of steps in that last 20. Again, it just comes down to understanding exactly where you are. That's where we started the Performance Lab of California. You've been following us. We started with being able to do the assessments and understand exactly where you are as an athlete and be able to build a program around it. Now what we've done is we've been able to do that for you for the 40-yard dash. We're getting more and more specific into the certain sports to make it so now we can really maximize what you're trying to do within your given individual sport, right? And the 40 can also apply to the 100. I mean, it can apply to the 60. Whatever it ends up needing to be, it just goes into this. The easiest one for me, I'm a football guy, is looking in the 40 just because, we can get much more specific in terms of each individual step. Point being, though, is if we can look at the numbers, understand where you need to be in the step count, the number time, the transition time, the contact time, now we can create an easy formula for you to follow and guideline for you to follow to make it so you can get these 0.2 seconds off in a month. Okay, so that's what we're offering right now, is we're offering you 2/10 off of your 40 in a month. So if you're running 4.9, you're going to run 4.7. If you're running 4.8, you're going to run 4.6. If you're running at least, right, that's going to be the bare minimum. If you don't get that, we'll give you your money back. Okay, so if you guys are interested in doing that, I would love to have you part of this program. Would love to have you be able to work with you because I really am passionate about helping people get faster. I love being able to look at the numbers and being able to really connect with exactly how you can maximize your speed. And so if you're interested in doing this, go ahead and click the link below, go and get started. We're probably going to end up giving you a free gift too. We want to make this into an ad. So if you share this video, we'll give you a gift, make it so you can go in and really expand it. We want to be able to help more people get faster. So if you know somebody that, an uncle, a cousin, a nephew that is working on their 40, share it. We're going to be able to maximize this. This is something that's going to completely revolutionize what we've been able to do with the 40. And the big reason why we have this information, you haven't seen anything like this before, is because the cameras now are better than they've ever been. So now we could really understand to the 100th, because we could really get all the frames per second. So now we can understand exactly to the 100th where people's steps are and how we can maximize each individual step. So before, it was just too many frames. You can't really get down to the nitty-gritty of the numbers. Now we can, and now we can make it all 100% online, 100% digital, because we have the ability. You could send me a video from your phone, I can go and look at it, and I can break all of it down into this type of specificity and then give you the information that you need to be able to take the 2/10 off your 40. Now, you got to work for it. It's not going to just come to you easy. You're going to have to understand what it is that we're doing. You're going to have to, get these numbers down, which when it's individualized to you and specific to you, it's a lot easier, but you got to work, right? So I want you to understand, if you're committing to this, if you're going and clicking the link and signing up, then you got to put in the work. It's going to cost money. It's going to be something that you got to commit to. So I'd be happy to do it for anybody that wants to do that. And none of the things I just said, if that scared you at all, if that gave you any degree of hesitation, then it's probably not for you. But if you're still saying, hey, this is 100% for me, I want to get the 2/10 off of the 40 in a month. You're about 3 months away from the season, so this is the time. Let's take action. Let's make it so you can get faster. Let's make it so you can get recruited by some top colleges, some top D1 schools, and accomplish your goals. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, you can subscribe down below, and that way you can get updates on any of the new videos that we get. Also, if you want to, you can check out some of our other breakdowns for speed and throwing. We have exercises, also jumping mechanics videos, a lot of great stuff within our channel. Hope you enjoy.